Hello, buenas tardes from Alicante. It's time for your latest daily update video from me out here with Sunderland in Spain in Alicante. I am getting some shade. I'm not going to go on too long today because it is sweltering and my Sunderland constitution is struggling. What is that bring you up to speed with today? Well, a little bit of a development in the goalkeeping department. Blondie Nukeo, who some of you will know obviously played 90 minutes in the South Shields friendly. He's been on trial with the club. I'm not 100% sure that's how you pronounce his surname, so don't take that as gospel. I'll try and find out. He's actually out here in Spain with the team. He wasn't officially named in the touring camp. That was Anthony Patterson, Simon Moore and under-21s goalkeeper Kelechi Chibueze. They were all named. But Nukeo is here. Now, he hasn't signed for the club. That hasn't happened yet. But we understand that it's looking fairly likely given that he's out here and he's obviously made a bit of impression on trial. We know that Matty Young's not out here, the 17-year-old, because basically a loan move to the AFL League 2 is pretty imminent. Salford City have been strongly linked. And basically, I think that Nukeo's arrival, if it does happen, just basically gives Young the opportunity to go out and play more regularly. Sunderland think it's a brilliant opportunity for a 17-year-old to play at that level and he'll get a lot out of it. Just protects Sunderland's goalkeeping ranks, gives us some depth, and it means that lads like Adam Richardson, Dan Cameron, they could potentially go out and loan to the National League at some point over the course of the season, obviously outside of the transfer windows. So we'll have to see how that progresses. It's not happened yet. I don't think it would happen if for whatever reason any Matty Young loan deal fell through, but that's certainly on the cards. What else have we got to talk about? Kits. Away kit's going to be released at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Pretty exciting. I think everybody knows it's going to be a good one. We don't know too much about it because obviously Sunderland want to keep it under lock and key, but it's pretty clear from all the promos they've done so far that it's going to be inspired by that 92 Cup final kit. So it's going to have that green on it. Club are really excited. I know they think it's going to be a big seller, especially after how well the home shirt did. And I get the feeling that the players will play in it tomorrow night, so that'll be something to watch out for. Yes, that's going to be really interesting. We also know that David Brewster's interviews when the club shop opened talked about how they were going to use the old crest and the 1973 crest. And if the 1992, this shirt is inspired by the 1992 one, I wonder if we'll see that old ship crest, which will be very exciting for Sunderland fans of a certain generation. So it's going to be really exciting to see that kit drop tomorrow. And the other thing, just to bring you up to speed on, I had a really good chat with Alan Browne today, obviously Sunderland's summer signing. He talked about why he left Preston. He was obviously given a fantastic contract offer by Preston. He'd been there for 10 years. Really interesting, just talked about 29, how he wanted to leave his comfort zone. He felt he got settled at Preston. Why did he leave Preston? Like I say, he wanted to get out of that comfort zone, but more importantly, why did he come to Sunderland? Well, it was really interesting talking to him about that. He talked about the size of the fan base, as you would expect, and what an amazing opportunity it is to play for such an incredibly passionate support. What was really also really interesting was he said the main reason really for him was the quality of the squad. He said he knows it was a poor season last year, but he genuinely believes this is a squad that can compete for the playoffs. He said he'd been unbelievably impressed with the quality of the team when he played against them, obviously over the last couple of seasons. He said even in that game where Sunderland, you may remember, lost 1-0 to Preston at the start of last season away at Deepdale, he said that Sunderland had battered Preston and that Preston should never have won that game, and that he genuinely believes that there's a squad here that can go and compete for promotion. Talked about his role within the side. He said it's probably his best position as an 8, getting forward, a bit more box to box, crashing the box, trying to score goals. But I think fans will also be happy to hear that he said he's also very happy to play as a holding midfielder. It's something he's done before, it's something he's comfortable with, something that I think most of us have felt that in the absence of Corey Evans, Sunderland have really lacked at times. We understand they're not going to play with a holding midfielder in certain games, especially when you're at home. You want to dominate the ball, get high up the pitch, get as many players in the box as possible. But encouraging, I think, that Sunderland are considering they've added an option that can at least do that, because in certain games it's required, and hopefully that'll help bring out the best of the likes of PR Ekwar and Dan Neil if there's someone alongside them who has a little bit more comfort doing those defensive roles. Now, there's already a little bit on his fitness, on his plans for his debut, all that kind of stuff on the Sunderland Echo website. You'll also be able to read my full interview with him this tea time, so hopefully you can go and read that. I would really recommend it, not because I've written it, but because he was a really good interviewee. I think you can tell straight away that he's going to be a really good leader in that dressing room. He's going to speak really well. Said it was something that he was happy to do, always happy to do, and something that he felt he could add to the squad. He said it's a really talented squad, but maybe that game that Sunderland lost when they dominated at Preston showed maybe what's lacking, a bit of nous, staying in the game, understanding the importance of taking your chances. Spoke about the importance of sticking together through tough spells in the campaign. So I think he'll really add something to that dressing room, but he also made a point of saying, I'm not coming in here to run the show, I've got to earn everybody's respect. So yeah, I felt he had a bit of a quiet steeliness about him, a real determination to do well here, and I think he's going to be a really good signing. that's pretty much it. The only thing I wanted to talk about a little bit more was a lot of you asked on yesterday's video about the striker search. You mentioned about the striker from League 2 in France, Mendy from Ken. I'm not sure where that one's at, to be honest. It's pretty clear that Sunderland have made an inquiry, but he also has a lucrative offer from Saudi Arabia at 29. I'm sure that's something he's thinking about, because at that age you don't have too much contracts left in you. So we'll have to wait and see how that one develops. I think the encouraging thing for me is that if you go back to January, Sunderland did show that they were willing to do a loan move for an experienced striker. Kiefer Moore was one of them. They couldn't get that over the line. But we're seeing again this summer with this move from Mendy that there's a sign that they're willing to be a little bit more flexible, that they actually understand that they probably need a more experienced striker, so those younger players like Rusino, obviously he's 25 but he's still adjusting to England, but especially the likes of Hamir and Mienda can maybe develop and sort of work their way into the team away from the glare and the pressure of being Sunderland's leading striker. I know Mienda impressed a lot of people at the weekend, did really well. I'm hoping he'll get an opportunity to get Nottingham Forest and Elden, so maybe we'll see a bit more from him and see whether he can be a real option this season. So I think that's about it for today. I'll obviously keep your eye out for the kids tomorrow. I'll be back after the Nottingham Forest game. I'm going to do your classic on the whistle video, so keep an eye out on my Twitter page, because I'll be putting out a call for questions at full time tomorrow, so feel free to fire anything in. If you want to leave any questions in the comments under this video as well, I can do that. So yeah, we'll be back every day with one of these in some capacity, and thanks for watching.